Check. Hello, YouTube. It's Bo Brady. Welcome back. So, I was taking a gander at this thing, and I noticed something. So in Mexico, we have, and even in just in Mexico, we got pyramids, right? And we got a lot of megalithic structures in Peru and Chile area. Alright, we got a lot of megalithic structures right here in Egypt. We got a lot of, uh, antiquities in the like Afghanistan, Iraq area. Michael Tellinger found a lot of stuff in South America. We got, that's Tibet. Tibet's definitely interesting. But and Australia also has, Greco-Roman architecture. Really, really ornate, elaborate structures that you wouldn't expect, given the timeline we were taught in school. Now, what do all these areas have in common? They all look like they've been devastated by warfare. Like the landscape is just destroyed here. The landscape is just destroyed here. Just destroyed there. Like, and so the Mahabharata, the Rig Vedas, they talk about nuclear war. In our ancient history, and the Earth sure does show scars of it. Right, and so all these sites with megalithic structures, they're structures that we don't build today because they're too difficult, too costly, too time consuming, and but they're structures that can stand the test of time. And so people that were building those type of structures obviously likely had much longer lifespans. If you only live for 100 years, it doesn't make sense to build a structure that could last for several thousands. There's a saying that time feels nothing but the pyramids. And so there definitely was warfare of the nuclear variety, and the landscapes definitely show the scars of it. Now, all right, so here, before we get into that, there's one more area. So, someone just commented recently saying that the San Francisco sand is the best mudflood evidence that he's ever seen, and and I agree, like, it is pretty damn good, but I think this is even better. These, what appear to be buried houses, and these muddy swimming pools that we can see have concrete bottom and concrete walls, so it's essentially a gigantic swimming pool. Now, these swimming pools are quite large. We got Oh, look at that, 105 feet across. 105 feet across. All right, then we got, okay, here, just from this end to this end. Okay, then from here to here is 640 feet. So 100 by 640, so that's 6,400 square feet of pool just in this one small area there. And then, and then that's just tiny compared to all of it, and then that this is just one part in a big long chain of this shit, right? So, and then, and then there's the neighborhood street grid patterns we see here, complete with the cul-de-sacs like a normal suburban neighborhood, right? That seems to be like almost computer generated, the layout of it. It's not as if there was a small settlement that naturally expanded over time. Like, this was planned to be like this from the beginning with advanced technology, but it's in this condition today because it was obviously from a prior civilization. Now, the Bible talks about a great flood that wiped out a civilization. They were just a lot more advanced than we believe them to be. They weren't some primitive civilization that got wiped out in the Great Flood. It was some biblical shit that obviously happened. All right, now I wrote a little essay that I hope can give a little clarity to you. Although I wish I could, I am not meant to be a doctor or a magician, nor am I able to force people to believe in me or anything else. I am only meant to serve the same function that the Dalai Lama serves for Tibet, but for the Western world's culture, which has infected the vast majority of the world thanks to Hollywood, TV, and the internet. So my role is likely to cause me to have a somewhat political career. Not that it makes me more important or better. In fact, I am a public servant, not meant to be worshipped. I am willing to devote my God-given gifts to serve the public good, or whatever you would call it. Generation Z is already born. 2012 already happened. If I didn't come of age at the right time, the real guy is rudely late, not fashionably late, and he isn't known for his rudeness. There is nobody else in competition for the job because it is not a dream job. So although it's understandable to cause some jealousy, I assure you it's nothing you would actually want. And neither do I. However, I am pleased to finally find a purpose in life and honored to know how much trust God has in me to do what's right in spite of my less than perfect rocky start this life. I've always had a hard time figuring out what I wanted to be when I grew up, and have been stressing about it ever since I was first asked it in kindergarten. But don't fret if you also struggle with that, because we actually have more reason to get out of bed by not knowing our purpose. I was informed I did not turn out as well as was expected, and I am still working on integrating the lessons that God showed me that I had already learned but had forgotten. And I am far from perfect. I don't expect to ever be able to be perfect. I am and always will be a work in progress. There is no finish lines. Enlightenment is just the beginning, not the end of one's journey along the spiritual path. There is another path that many find themselves on, known as the path of destruction. The wide and easy path that all your friends are on, and the one that life seems to keep calling you back on. But God is calling us back as well to the narrow and seldom trodden path. It's rarely, if ever, glamorous or popular. We all have two wolves, a good and bad wolf. These wolves are locked in a fight to the death. The one that wins will be the one you feed. Your thoughts are what feed them, be them positive or grateful, negative or hateful thoughts. Your thoughts literally shape the life you live. Two different people who have two differently conditioned mindsets can both experience the exact same thing and each have dramatically different experiences to relate to others about it. They aren't lying either. That's exactly how they experienced it. But their thought patterns were so powerful, they were able to dictate how much joy it was giving to them, or how much misery. It's all in one's outlook, perspective, and your thoughts are a choice. You are not a slave to your mind. Use your mind as a tool. Don't let your mind use you. Thoughts are incredibly powerful. Fake it till you make it. Whenever you catch yourself having negative thoughts, correct it as if your life depends on it, because it literally does. After some time, it will become second nature. Then you won't even have to try anymore, and your life will improve dramatically. People will see the difference in you and wonder what it is about you that seems so much lighter, more carefree, and happier. And nothing but your thoughts will be the cause. And it will be the best thing that ever happened to you. But only you have the power to make that change. You can lead a horse to water, but of course the horse has to decide to drink. And you know this isn't the first time I have recommended a more positive outlook, but maybe this time I explained it better. Nobody needs any saving. Savior? Save you from what? Your own thoughts? Alright. Ponder on that, reflect on it, digest it, and let me know what you think down below.